Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Breaking Point. This video is for subscribers only, so if you haven't hit that little red subscribe button down below, go ahead and do that now. All right, I recently pitched against the Cubs, 7 2/3, 3 hits, 10 strikeouts, no runs, no walks. It was a great game, good matchup with Darvish. I enjoyed it, so we're gonna break that down. Hopefully you enjoy it. I call this crisscrossing the corner. You know, tunneling is a crazy concept. There's no way a big leaguer swings at that. If this ball's 1-7, he absolutely crushes it. Boom, that's the breaking point. All right, because we might play the Cubs again in the postseason this year, I'm not gonna go over scouting reports, so we're just gonna watch through the game and I'll let you know about some things that happened during, some things that were being said, some little moments, things that I was thinking, good tunnels that I hit, stuff like that. So let's get to it. All right, first things first, 50% fastball in the year, 50% off speed. That's a pretty good breakdown. Let's get into it. Fastball, strike, fastball, ball. If you see where Tucker is setting the glove here, there's a big emphasis for me on strike one, getting ahead of the hitters. And with some of my tools that I've had built out by 4app, can't quite share them yet, but some of the internal tools that we're beta testing and using, I've been able to look around and say, okay, when I'm trying to locate balls in these zones, if I'm trying to hit corners or whatever in different counts, where's the optimal place to set the glove? So if I'm trying to throw, let's say I'm trying to throw a fastball in this area, if I set the glove in this area, but I happen to miss like over here a lot and up here, 0-0 counts, that's not very good because I'm going to be behind in the count when I miss up here. So little things like that I've been able to actually optimize. Like when I'm going to each part of the zone, if we divide it into ninths, I know that if I'm trying to hit any of these parts of the zone, I know exactly where to set the glove in order to accomplish what I'm trying to accomplish in that count. So Tucker is setting this glove up kind of middle, not necessarily trying to hit the middle spot, but that's like the target, understanding that there's going to be some miss around it. So if that's kind of a theme that you'll see this game, a lot more target in the middle of the plate. All right, 1-1. Fastball take, and then late on a fastball. So the first game, it seemed like they were looking for off speed against me. And if you look at this, the ball's getting past the barrel about a frame before he gets to full extension. That ball beats him. So I threw, I think, 30% fastball my first outing against him. And so that was just one of the adjustments I happened to make coming into the second game is, reading the swings post game and seeing what they did. It's like, okay, I think I can use my fastball a little bit more. So get that strikeout there. First pitch swing here, we go back up, get a swing, we try to do it again, and he finally takes. So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, we've gone here, here, so we're drawing his attention like up in this area. So we come back with a freeze down, and so I'm just trying to get this over in this area for a strike, figuring we'd go up, look up here, and then I'll immediately down. If they are looking for off speed, anything that starts down, they're probably going to take. So this is kind of me trying to read a little bit of like, what is he trying to do to me? And if you look at his reaction here, look at the body. The body is already going this direction. He's kind of hanging. You can see that movement in the body right there. Instead of coming straight out towards the mountain this way, you can watch his body. He's turning and he's drifting and he's looking over this way, which to me means he's kind of looking slow. This ball beats him. If this ball is in the strike zone, he just takes it because he's in no position here as the ball's leaving my hand. He's in no position to actually get off a swing. So this to me says he's looking slow. And you can see where, when he's landing, this elbow is like almost in the zone. And that's going to come into play later in the game. So we miss there. If we look at his reaction again, like he's off balance here. He kind of puts his foot down. This ball gets by him a little bit and he's leaning out. Big time leaning out this way. We try it again, assuming he's looking for off speed. And it's just, you get the exact same reaction. Like if this ball is on the plate, there's no way he's reading that this is a couple inches off the plate. This ball is just beating him. He's expecting this ball to break over here and it beats him. And he's just, if I throw either of those for a strike, it's a freeze, it's a strikeout. So we try it a third time. And after drawing his attention out there, oops, go back here. after drawing his attention out there, you can see a lot less lean. He's actually triggering on this ball, and he swings at it. Gets off a pretty good swing, a little bit late on it, slices off. So now I feel like, okay, he's looking heater here, and then I do what I should have done a little bit earlier as we come in. If you're gonna take this first move and dive out this way, anything then running in this way on you is going to be tough to hit. I'm gonna switch to yellow here. It might show up a little bit better on the screen. And that's exactly what we see happen. The ball gets in on him. You see this alligator arming here. And this ball just jams him, and we get the ground ball to third. Positive result there. All right, Rizzo, first game, homer on a changeup here, homer on a slider right there, both off-speed pitches. So that's what I have going in on him. Fastball down, ball, get that fastball. And this is kind of what we were talking about here. Target's right here, and if you look at where the ball actually, if you look at where the ball actually ends up, yeah, miss, but it's still in the zone in a positive location. So he fouls off the bunt attempt, come right back in. This pitch down and in off the plate, and he pulls it well foul. And so now we've gone here, we've gone here, we've gone here, and now we're going to go up and away for a swing. Executed perfectly, right where I wanted it, right above the zone, up and away, and we get that pop-up. Baez, I have a video of Baez that I made, another breaking point that I made of specifically my matchups with him. So if you guys want to go watch that, it's kind of interesting. It'll give you some history on our matchups and what I try to do to him and what he tries to do to me. But it is always good to switch things up a little bit. So we go first pitch cutter and we just miss. And then we go first pitch cutter here, or second pitch cutter. Miss my location for sure. And if you look at the target here, I'm basically trying to throw this pitch right down the middle, understanding that there's going to be some miss, and we get that miss. And if you look at Javi's reaction, right here we get this kind of like, what the heck? That's not a strike. The dugout's yelling about it. He's not happy. As soon as I see that, I'm like, oh, Javi, I win this at bat, because he's frustrated with the call already. So here we come. We're trying to go in with a fastball in here, but miss out over. But still in a decent spot, up and away. And he gets the same reaction here. Like the hands, like he hears strike. What the heck? He's frustrated. And you see the face there, like that's not a strike. According to the box on the screen, both of them were strikes. I'm not sure if that box is accurate or not, but we're in 1-2 count. And he's frustrated, so now it's just fastball away and strikeout. So generally speaking, I get Javi to chase a lot on pitches moving out this way. So this first at bat, after I saw the frustration, I figured he's got to be looking for this pitch running off, and so we paint that fastball. So now we've gone fastball here and fastball here. He's seen 2 fastballs for strikes to set up the at bat for the second time through. Now we get Schwarber, swing on a fastball up, cutter in, take, swing on a fastball up, and we get the pop-up. Hits off of Galvis's glove. Schwarber's running hard. He ends up at second. So this is to lead off, or this is with 1 out in the second. So man on second now, and going up against Darvish. Luckily, Moose hit a big homer in the first inning, a 3-run homer, so we have a 3-run lead. So if not, this would have been a lot more tense if it was still 0-0. But with 3 runs, it's like, all right, I can give up 1. Let me just focus on getting the hitter out. Fastball up, so we've missed twice. Caratini, the first time I faced him, he saw a lot of curveballs. So again, just switching up the sequence of things a little bit. Now we get the swing on the fastball up. Swing on the fastball up, identical pitches. So he's in swing mode now. He's seen 4 fastballs up and in. Get that pop up to third. But he's seen here, 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 and here, and that's going to come into play later on in the game. Hayward, one thing I have to say about Hayward, I faced Hayward years ago in the postseason in 2016, and he was always kind of an out. He swung a lot. He There's a lot of chase. It didn't seem like there was a whole lot of an approach. Like, I really got to give him credit because the last couple times I've faced him, he's put together really, really good at bats. He seems to have a very good understanding of what the strike zone is now. Has a very good understanding of what he's trying to do. He's patient. He doesn't chase a whole lot, and then he hits balls in the zone. So it's a much tougher at bat, and I'm not sure exactly if it was an approach change, if it was just kind of understanding and being a little bit more of a veteran hitter, if there's maybe got eyesight, maybe he's able to see the ball better for some reason. I'm really not sure, but I do know there's a massive difference in the quality of the at-bats that he's putting up. And so good for him on that. He's really improved himself, at least from my read of it. So here we go, fastball up, and you see this take right here. It doesn't look like he's interested in swinging on this. Just kind of an auto take. I mean, he's taking his hand off the bat when this ball's in flight. You can see this. I mean, the ball's still in flight. He doesn't have any intention of swinging at this. Reads it pretty well. Ball one. Same type of thing. I don't think he was looking to swing here. I think he's just taking to get a strike. So we get that fastball in. Fastball in, same exact pitch, and he absolutely missiles it. So this is one of the things, like, I'm not sure if he's swinging in swing mode here or take mode. He's auto-taking 2 pitches, and we get this ball in on the inner third where we want it. And I mean, he is right. And you see everything is just like lined up, full extension through the ball right there. And he just happens to pull it foul a little bit. But this is a rocket. I mean, that ball's hit very hard. And then we come back there. I mean, this is a really good tunnel. This pitch, we'll do this here. Here's the curveball. So it comes out of this tunnel. That's about the height of it. One frame back. This is about the height of it here. And then it ends up down here. If we switch back to the fastball, the prior pitch that he swung at, this ball comes out very close to the curveball, and it follows the same trajectory right there, and then it ends up here. I mean, it's basically on the same dot right there. It's basically on the same dot as the curveball right there. So we now have this difference in spread. He just hit this pitch really hard. He sees something that has to look almost identical to that pitch. You can see this comes out. It looks like that fastball kind of in the middle of the zone. And then he comes down and he's able to lay off. Now he checks his swing. It definitely fools him. But before, this is a full swing and miss through, and he's able to check this swing. So we get action there, come back with almost the exact same pitch, and you look at this take now. It's like he understands exactly what I'm going to do to him, and you get a little trigger, but not much. I mean, not nearly like the pitch before. He clearly learned from the pitch before, and he takes that, and he gets himself now into a really good count. 3-2, and then I execute a really good pitch. He's seen fastballs up and kind of in this area. He's seen curveballs in this area. So his attention is drawn over here. Now he sees something that just starts down and it's away, and you get that freeze effect. He's got no chance of hitting that pitch. It's really well executed. He knows it, and he just tips his hat and says, okay, good on you for that one. You beat me on that. But he put up a really good at bat there. Fastball away, strike, cutter away. One thing here, watching Tuck, you see his glove. So Tuck's glove is kind of on the ground here, and he can then work, see him, he moves. So let's track his glove. His glove is here, ball's halfway in the air. He moves out here. So the first move is this direction. And he gets below the ball, and then the move as he's catching the ball is up in this direction. Now, we don't get the call. This ball's well off the plate. But if you just look at the technique here, he gets outside and underneath the ball, and he's catching it, pulling it up to the strike zone. It's really good stuff out of Tuck, and it's one of the reasons he's consistently ranked as one of the better pitch framers, or one of the best pitch framers in the league. Really cool stuff there. All right. Ball one, fastball up and away, fastball away. He gets a really good swing on it. Right on it, just misses it. And I have to assume here he's looking off speed. So I'm trying to basically go up top here for a strikeout. And we get that freeze. Kind of diving out, looking over this way, expecting it to break most likely. And he's just really late on the fact that that ball didn't break the other way. So I think, again, knowing what I did to him the first time and having thrown so much off-speed stuff for Chase, he has to be assuming that I'm going to try to get Chase here, and we get that freeze with the fastball. Great job of catching it by Tuck as well. You can see this again. Like, glove is below the ball here, working up and in one motion. You can see how he's catching this and just very smoothly pulling it into the zone and get that strikeout. Fastball up and in, and we're gonna log this pitch and this result here in our memory banks. I should have done a better job of this, but we get fastball up and in, and we get a ball pulled on the ground, foul. Curveball away, strike, not happy with the call. Great job by Tuck on catching this one again. It's just it's the same formula repeated over and over. Outside the ball, glove working outside the ball so that you can catch it and pull it in, as opposed to working inside the ball and pulling it out of the zone. Now we go curveball down, and I have no idea how Tucker even catches this ball. I mean, this ball bounces well in front of the plate, and he just picks it out. Get a little bit of a check swing, and then we come back with that curveball, middle of the zone, down, ground out. Ball one down, swing through up top. Now Hap, we got him on 4 fastballs, including a swing and miss up here the first time, so we swing through that fastball to get to 1-1. Cutter in, good take, fastball in, and he's kind of, so this pitch, let's go back. Let's go back to the cutter, and we can look at tunneling. So he takes release point, cutter, so it passes through there, kind of goes towards Tucker's right shoulder, and then this ball ends up in, right here. So if we look at the next fastball, release point's the same, kind of goes up right towards that top part, and then comes back in the zone, and he gets a swing off on this one. A pretty good swing. So this fastball follows this trajectory. The cutter followed that trajectory. And so we get the take on the cutter and we get the swing on the fastball. Generally, I think if I get the swing on the fastball here and I throw the cutter next, it's probably a swing. And we'll see that actually in this at bat. But get a little bit late here, gets a good swing off, not quite fully extended. He's just beat his barrel a little bit, and we get a foul ball. Go up again where we got the strikeout in the first inning, test that, get the foul ball again. Curveball down, coming off of, let's go back here. Let's go back to this fastball. This is a really good tunneling at bat. So fastball, heads up here, up and away, and then we go to curveball next, and it starts same spot, up, same spot, ends up bottom of the zone here. So we create this amount of difference. We get a swing on both of them, and he's kind of in defense mode here, but does a really good job of fighting this off. Fastball up and in, get a late swing, and then we go with this cutter down and in. And so if you look at this cutter, it comes out and it looks like this fastball height that's going to end up in here. We just threw him a fastball a little bit higher that kind of started in and came back to the zone there, and so we get this cutter that starts in here and he gets this check swing. Exactly what I was talking about earlier. Earlier I went cutter in first for a take, and then I went fastball back this way for a swing. this time I reversed it. I went fastball up here for a swing, and then we went cutter in here, and we got the swing that I was looking for. Now this is the at-bat. This got some attention. So he swings and misses. I think he's out. Umpire bangs him, and he yells at the umpire. He says, "Fuck, no, like I didn't swing." And so when I heard that, of course there's no fans, so I'm walking off the field and I said, "Fuck, yes, like you did swing." So then he turns around and he's looking at me, and I'm walking off the field this way, and I'm looking over at him, and he's kind of staring me down. He said something, I didn't hear what he said, and I said, "Let's go." And then the umpires jumped in and were like, "Break it, knock it off, knock it off." So good thing for the umpires, they did what they're supposed to do. They stopped altercation before it happened, but just a little bit of in the moment stuff. I like Ian a lot. I've talked with him multiple times. I have no problem with Ian off the field, no problem with him as a person at all. Just one of those things where in the moment, competitors are going to compete. So Contreras comes up. First time we jammed him on a fastball here, but he put up a really good at bat and was leaning out this way. So get that. This pitch starts in here, and we establish that we're going to throw off speed for a strike. You can see this reaction. There's still a little bit of he wants to kind of lean. You see the body like leaning in and going that way, and then he kind of freezes on the ball that's in on him. So we establish off speed for a strike. Then we go fastball up top for a swing, fastball up even more. And so after this pitch, we get swing here, take here. I'm like, okay, curveball in this area has got to be a swing. He's staring out at me, so I go with the curveball and just lose it. Remember in the first at bat, we talked about when he's diving out this way, how close this elbow is. The elbow was getting to right about here on in space. So on this one, if you watch his body, there's this little bit of curl. He's gonna dive, but he notices that the curveball's there and just lets it hit him. So obviously a bad pitch, and he does the right thing, lets it hit him, but that's to lead off the inning. Now we got Rizzo. After the first at bat with all those fastballs, I got to imagine Rizzo's swinging. So I throw him this cutter, and you see this swing that he takes kind of breaks down in the middle. He sees this, thinks fastball, and all of a sudden cutter, and he has to pull his hands in really quick. And this is just kind of an awkward swing. If you watch it in real time, I'll play it in real time, you can see kind of more how awkward it is. So here's the hit by pitch, and there's the Rizzo swing. So we challenge him again with the cutter, same type of awkward swing, challenge him again with the cutter, and get this awkward swing. Whoops. Again, this kind of like it's chasing him, and he's just almost trying to like get out of the way and swing at the same time, like chopping down on the ball. This is a really weird swing. Then we go curveball down, and he doesn't chase. Almost get it, but we don't. And then we go fastball away. Now, every single pitch that he's seen, it's been cutters up here, cutters in here, fastballs up here, fastball pop-up up there, fastballs in here. Everything's been up and in this area. So his eyes are looking up in this area, and then we get this immediate kind of just down shot over here that looks different, and we get the freeze that we're looking for. Javi, first at bat, got him on fastball here and a fastball in that area. So we start this cutter in the exact same place as those fastballs. He's like, ooh, a fastball, I'm gonna swing, and we get this kind of out in front, out of the zone. Try it again a little bit further off, no swing. Now we go with the slower one. Actually, no, that's another cutter. We went with the cutter there, get a bad swing. Reaching a little bit for this out in front. And then we throw the slower one, the sweeper. And if we look at where this pitch starts, here, here, and then there. If we go back to the first swing, right there, you can see that this starts same location, gets to the same height, but ends up a little bit closer to the plate. right there. So this is the cutter if you look from the top. So here's the mound, here's the plate. This cutter starts off and it goes kind of like this. Then the slider comes in and it starts off on the same line and it just ends up more outside and a little bit slower. This is a really deadly combo on the outside corner that I use quite a bit and get that strikeout. So there's the cutter up there that ends up on the plate, and there's the sweeper that ends up off the plate. Here's Schwarber, freeze fastball to start the at-bat, curveball backdoor. Tucker does a great job of catching this. Again, just glove is below the ball, and it's... So this ball beats Tucker a little bit, and you can see what it looks like actually when it does beat a catcher. So this ball here, the ball is, see how the glove is kind of working down with the ball? So he has to catch it and then try to pull it up. So you see this delay below the zone there, as opposed to being down here and being able to work up. Now, if we look at where this is supposed to be, if you look at the target here, he's kind of like, okay, this is going to be up in this middle of the zone. It's 0-1. We're trying to throw this for a strike. So he's expecting the ball to be a little bit higher. And when he gets it, it just kind of gets down a little bit. But still get the call. Come back. I don't know how Tucker blocks this ball. There's a guy on first here, so 2 outs. If this ball gets by Tucker, guy goes to first, or guy goes to second, and then a bloop can score a run. I mean, this ball's nowhere close, and just somehow keeps it in front of him. Great job right there. And we come back with the curveball that's a little bit closer. Looks like this fastball in up here that he's seen a couple times in the first at bat, and then we get that bottom out swing. So, and then if you look at me, I punched out the side this inning, so I get this strikeout, give a little bit of yell. I'm feeling pretty good about myself, feeling pretty locked in at this point, so I'm starting to roll. Fastball up and away, strike. Fastball up and away, ball. And we go in, ball. We go down here for a freeze. So he's seen here, here, in here. He's seen everything up. And then we come with one that's in the bottom part of the zone. Looks like he's thinking maybe off speed here and just kind of freezes. That ball definitely beats him. But we talked about earlier seeing balls up here, drawing his attention up. I'm thinking here after this pitch, I'm like, okay, I'm going to throw a cutter because I've gotten a fastball in here, fastball here. I'm like, there's plenty of room to start a cutter right here and work it this way and see if we get a swing. So I'm thinking cutter here. Tucker called come back two seam, and instead of shaking off, I went with it. I wasn't fully convicted on this pitch, and it wasn't the right pitch, and you can see it doesn't start enough in where it comes back and gets the black. It starts in here and it comes back and it gets the center right here and ends up as a hit. So that's the first hit of the day. We got Hayward again, fastball down. Now I throw him a curveball strike. Again, he didn't swing at the curveballs down here, but I throw him a curveball strike now, and he's all over it. So he clearly reads this. He gets into his legs. There's a little bit of pause, so the front foot's down right here. You can see the front leg bend a little bit, buy himself some time. Now he's triggering the hips, and he's right on this, and he absolutely scorches this ball. Just so happens he scorches it right at Votto, and it turns into a double play. So this is really the first one all game that the first time I've been in trouble. Give up a hit I chose the wrong pitch, and then I give up an absolute laser. There's a good chance, I mean, normally that this ball gets down in the corner. Caratini's not super fast, so it probably ends up second and third, nobody out, but it ends up being 2 outs, which is huge. And then I just lose a fastball. You can see my reaction to this is like, if you watch my reaction, what the hell? Because I missed by a ton. Come back. Tucker does a great job of catching that one. Glove below the ball, just pulling it up all in the same motion. If you compare that to the curveball, you see how there's absolutely no change. Like when he catches this ball, it's already coming up. there's no like catch, kind of bobble, wait, and then come up like we saw in the curveball to Schwarber. So great job there. 1-1, cutter off, miss, fastball up and in. This I think is supposed to be away, and I just miss, kind of runs in on him, and we fortunately get the ground ball. So that inning number 5 was not very good for me. I sprayed the ball around a little bit, made some bad decisions. So kind of the first misstep I had, and I got lucky that inning. Ball behind again, strike up and away, come back with a backdoor cutter, really good pitch, and we come back with the curveball down. So this sequence of things is really good. Fastball up for a strike, sets the edge and sets the height. So this comes out through here and then through here. Now we're going to come back with the backdoor cutter that starts on the same height. Right here, whoops, come back a frame. Here, there, and ends up here. So now he's seen two pitches that are strikes that end up at different locations. One that's moving, again, if you draw your mound here and your plate here, so you're looking for from the over the top view. The fastball moved kind of center over here. The cutter moved kind of out here and backdoor. So he's set, this angle, this initial angle. Let me do that in a different color. This initial angle is a strike, and this initial angle is a strike, both on the outside corner. And they've both started off here at the same height. You can see like the height is the same, release point's the same, height is the same. So now when we come back the next time, let's do white. We come back the next time with the very next pitch with this curveball. You can see it starts similar heights and ends up below the zone here. So now I've gone 3 different heights. I've gone fastball here, strike, cutter at this height, strike, and then curveball down here for the swing and miss. So really well executed. After the first pitch, a really well executed 3-pitch sequence there. Here comes Happ again. We had our little dust up the last time he was up. Backdoor slider, huge. Again, that sets out here. Coming back is a strike, and it's slow. Get ahead. Now we go curveball down. Don't like the swing I see on that, so we just go right back to it and get the same swing. And a little bit of stare down right there. Just like, yep, all right, make sure. Contreras put up 2 really good at-bats so far. Slider, ball, missed. Get that swing on an elevated slider. Another take here that I'm surprised by, but you see this, like, he's kind of off balance and leaning out this way a little bit. You can tell by the chopping of the feet. He's looking that way, so I decided to go back in here. Miss. But again, this one is, you look at this reaction, he's looking slow. This ball is just by him, and he's kind of like, oh shoot, surprised by it. But you look where his elbow is here. He's diving. I mean, by the time the ball's at the plate, this elbow is almost over the inside part of the plate. So this ball definitely beats him. Try this curveball, and he doesn't swing at this because he's leaning out there, reading slow. Nope, not a strike. Okay. And you watch this again, you watch the feet, he's kind of shuffling, body's leaning out this way. So I try to go with if you're going to look slow, and anything that starts here is normally going to break this way and be a ball, and hard is kind of beating you, then I'm going to start hard here and bring it back right down here for a strike. That's the idea on this, but we miss. Well up. This is supposed to be a comeback 2-seam on the bottom, down and away corner. You see this ball gets like well in on the barrel. Arms are like really pulled in here. So this ball definitely beats him. He just somehow fights it off. If that's a 4-seam, he probably swings and misses. It's probably above his barrel. And then come back with that away fastball. But we missed the freeze down and away. Otherwise, that's probably a strikeout. So Rizzo down and in strike. Not the place you want to throw him, but we get away with it. Really bad curveball that pops out. Curveball that's a strike. And again, this kind of top row curveball here, he doesn't take a very good swing at it. It's kind of kind of awkward. There's a little bit of hitchiness to it, like it surprised him a little bit, and it's kind of like you can see him kind of hanging right here, like, and then he decides to swing. So just kind of an awkward swing on that one. Fastball up and in, foul. Don't get the swing on the curveball down, and then throw it a little bit closer to the zone, and we get a little bit of a tapper out front. Good way to start that inning off. Here's Javi, and he misses one. This is one that he wishes he had back. Slider, and he's on it, and right through it, gets a great swing off, and just misses it. And if you watch him, you look at his face, he's like, ah. Right there, you can see it. Ah, missed it. So he's like, man. So he gets that pop up to Moose, come back, ball away to Schwarber, ball in, behind the count right now, fastball up, and we get a swing and an out. But going ball here, there's not a whole lot to do to Schwarber from there. You just have to throw a strike, and it's 2-0. So kind of got away with, I think he just missed a pitch that he could have hit there. Come back, backdoor cutter, miss. And so you can see now it's the 8th inning. I'm kind of starting to misfire. We've had some curveballs end up kind of over here. We've had a yank down here. So I'm starting to spray the ball around a little bit. Fastball in, and this one, Caratini got a hit on a fastball up here. He's seen a lot of fastballs up in this area this day. And we come back with this one in, and you can see this is like full extension right on that ball, right through it, and just gets above his barrel a little bit, and is a pop-up. Hayward's put up really good at-bats all night long, fastball up and away, try a cutter in, and this is what I'm talking about. Like, this pitch is very close to the zone, has a lot of the plate. I mean, this could be a fastball that's up in this area if it comes back the other way. It's got a lot of the plate, and he takes a very good approach here. I mean, he takes a very good, you can see Tucker trying to bring it back a little bit, gets inside the ball and is catching it going back towards the plate. Don't get the call. Hayward is, patient and, good approach. Now I yank a fastball in. That's an easy take. 3-0 here, 3-0 I should say, 2-1 count, but up 3-0. I'm like, I'm going to throw him a strike. I don't want to go 3-1 and take a chance of walking him. So I'm just trying to throw this ball somewhere over the plate right here. This sequence it started off good, but then the cutter in here and the yanked fastball in there kind of disrupted the sequence. So come back, throw it where I want to, and just kind of slices off the barrel. Gets a hit. So that's the first one. The second hit, I guess I've given up, but the first guy on of this inning kind of sprayed some balls around, and you see this here too. First pitch cutter, get the strike call, but not where I want it. Then I execute a perfect slider, the best one I've executed all night, get the pop-up, backdoor cutter up, backdoor cutter that misses down and in, kind of spraying balls around here, my command's leaving me. And then, if you remember the first at bat, he hit this pitch right here, foul on the ground. So now we come through and we get this pitch that's up above the zone, supposed to be down and away. So we went cutter that started kind of over here and broke down and in. So I'm thinking, okay, I'll freeze with a fastball. It's something that starts in this same location here, but goes the other way. And then I have a slider down and in. I have a curveball down. I have a fastball up available to me. But I miss with this pitch, and I yank it up and in. And he's kind of a flat swing right here. You look how flat this barrel is on a pitch up, stays on top of it, and is able to pull that ball through for a hit, and that's that. They pulled me after that. So those are the 3 hits, 7 2/3, 10 strikeouts, no walks. Executed really well all night, except for the last couple innings there. Sprayed some balls around in the 5th, and then towards the end of the 7th and in the 8th, I sprayed some balls around. So that's what I got for you on this episode of Breaking Point. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. You weren't supposed to watch this video, but you can hit that subscribe button right now. It would help me out on my way to 100,000 subscribers by the end of 2020. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Tomorrow's going to be a banger.